Hello friends, it's me, and it's time for a tale from my own subreddit, which is why you should submit stories there. It's not a shameless plug. Alright, it kinda is. But anyway, this is from Reddit user GlassTeeth01. It's a hell of a name. This is the reason why I hate wasps. There's another part to this, but I'm not allowed to say it within the first minute of a YouTube video, so you can find out if you're industrious enough. Here we go. Good morning, good afternoon, or evening.
Good morning! Oh, and in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
I did not know when you were reading this, but I would like you to know that this will be my first post here. Well, thank you for submitting. In comparison to the other stories you can find on this subreddit, this one may seem a bit tame. However, it's connected to self-inflicted emotional trauma, so I hope that gives it some points towards it. I mean, not everything has to be negative, you guys. So now, without further ado, here's a short story about a dumbass kid and how he messed up.
You'll shoot your eye out, kid.
This all begins in the early 2000s, on a cloudy summer afternoon. School was out due to a holiday, and I was at my grandma's house, as my mother couldn't be bothered to deal with my bullshit at home on that particular day. With all the negative meaning attached to the word, I was a little shit. Okay. It wasn't that I was hyperactive or acting out because I wanted attention. I was a little goblin child whose sole purpose in life was to make everyone around me pissed off. The only people spared from my annoying tactics were my grandmother and one other person who is entirely unrelated to this story. Speaking of which, I need to get back to it. I was going to the backyard with a water gun that I had brought to my grandma's house that I had placed in the refrigerator overnight with the sole intention of being a small gremlin. This was my first mistake of the day. I wanted to be a little shit. I should have stayed in the front yard instead of going to the back. I waited around for a few minutes, walking around till I got bored and started to walk back to the front to go back inside, and then I spotted it. Right under the awning of the roof, just behind the connected garage, with a large, papery lump about the size of my head. Oh no. A wasp nest. Oh no. Looking back, I should have shat my pants and ran screaming to my grandma to get someone to get rid of it, but no. In addition to being a little shit, I was also a dumbass. Instead of doing the smart thing and getting the hell out of the backyard as fast as I possibly could, I took a stand, pointed my water gun, which was still filled with ice-cold water, by the way, and fired at it. One straight shot of nearly ice-cold water directly into the side of the nest. For a second, nothing happened. Then I heard a loud buzzing. And finally, it seemed as if the nest exploded with a swarm of wasps, all of them very much pissed off. And they were thirsty for the blood of the dumbass that shot their nest with ice water. Seeing this, I did three things. Number 1, I pissed myself. Number 2, I dropped the water gun. And number 3, I ran like hell back to Grandma's front door, screaming the entire way like I got my balls stuck in a meat grinder. Lord. Once I got to the screen door, I fiddled with it for a few moments while the swarm caught up with me. I ran inside, slamming the door behind me. Some of the wasps got in and stung me pretty bad, including the aforementioned balls. I was wearing shorts at the time. Ow. My grandma had come down, wondering why I was screaming, crying, and pissed myself, only to see me covered in wasp stings and crying profusely on the tile floor. After a visit to the hospital and having to explain to my mother what happened, I was allowed to go back to Grandma's house, both humbled and traumatized by the event. To this very day, I have severe anxiety attacks whenever I even so much as see a wasp in my presence. I can never go camping, hiking, or anything that means outdoor activities in the woods due to the self-inflicted trauma of being a dumbass and shooting a wasp nest. Well, down here I know a bunch of kids who did that shit when I was younger. That was... oh, God. Even my mom told stories about that. That being like a thing dumb kids did. Throw a rock at a wasp nest, see what happens. Yeah, no, I definitely remember that shit. Now, I just kill them. But I definitely remember that being a thing, you know, when I was a kid. God, when you're like a little kid in the middle of nowhere, you do a lot of really stupid shit. And Lord knows we did. There was a lot of like, hey, let's see if this will catch on fire. You know, just really, really bad ideas all around. But yeah, no, I definitely think you learned a lesson that day, my friend. A lesson that apparently you have never forgotten, which honestly makes sense. Don't fuck with wasps. They're mean as shit. Just get rid of them every chance you can. So, yeah. This is a little bit of a shorter one, but I wanted to share it because I thought it was kind of wild and kind of interesting and kind of funny. So, if you enjoy this, make sure you do the YouTube thing, like, comment, subscribe, mainly because YouTube hates smaller channels like mine, and fuck it, let's piss them off, right? If you would like to support this channel, and I certainly hope you do, you can check out my Ko-Fi, which is like Patreon, but 1,000 times cooler. Ko-Fi, you should be sponsoring me, mainly because I think you're awesome. Hint, hint. Also, if you want to get some weird merch that I sell, because I sell a lot of weird merch, my Threadless store is in the description of this and every video, just like a bunch of other links. I always forget to say that, but you should check those out. Seriously, I sell so much weird stuff. They recently allowed me to make yoga mats. I don't know why you would need a Moonhorse themed yoga mat, but it is now an option. So, there's that. You know, just because. Every weekend there are live streams that myself and my fantastic fiancé do. And on Monday we record these stories live in front of an entire audience who's watching me right now. Always watching, always judging, watching, judging, watching. Anyway, if you would like to be a part of that, you can. And, yeah, if you want to send me stories, I think I said that, my subreddit, r/Moonhorse stories. The links to all that stuff and more in this and every video's description. Every one of my videos, not every video in general. That would be weird. And also, that would mean that I have power that, like, I should not have. But I want it. Anyhow, thanks for being here. I love you all, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye, everybody.